Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Ohayou gozaimasu. Good morning. Welcome to today's family service. My name is Joe Klein, and I'll be the chairperson today. We will begin this morning's service with Sambujo on pages 24 and 25. And now we will have sutra chanting. On page 67, it's Jun Ni Rai.
Keishu son,在意命安楽を無用無視主義念本直心情要請のシャマタ行如像両六条略少年で法が将来皆尊免税年上両万月以降有料千日月商業天空しら子が将来皆尊観音頂戴観中樹主有名相正門老仏下のマテオマン子が将来皆尊無備無苦交渉上修徳経血尿国小差利役徳自在子が将来皆尊実行名門菩薩衆無料小魔女三男一生修上願力中子が将来皆尊本体保険知証家前言症状名誉大座法義座上行船の子が将来皆尊実法将来諸仏師権限人図師安楽戦後尊厳上業子が将来皆尊諸無常無我と薬尿水月年上老一種説法無名字子が将来皆尊一尊無説無悪名薬無名人悪名不主任死心教義尊子が将来皆尊一尊無量名教無無小衆悪知識往生不退死五代子が将来皆尊多説非尊不独自修善無縁妖怪水小逆善 Namanda.
Now I can ask that you please stand for the Gatha, Seiva, verse 1, Japanese and English, on page 124 of the White Book. Again, that's the White Book, page 124. Good practice for next week's service. And then we'll remain standing for the reading of the Three Treasures on page 8 of the Purple Book.
Three Treasures on page 8. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teachings. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Please be seated.
Thank you. And now Reverend Fujimoto will share a Dharma message with us.
Namanda, 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 Namanda. Good morning, everyone. Ohayo gozaimasu. Okay. I'm trying to put this whole thing in my mouth so people in the back can hear me a little bit better. Maybe it'll make a difference. So let's see. So next week we have a special service. It's our ABWA Memorial, and the Ladies of the Dharma as well. So we're able to recognize and acknowledge people from our temple who have served with the BWA here, and we miss them all. But as they helped with the temple, they were able to contribute to the well-being of our Sangha members and the temple as a whole. And so it's always a very special service that we are able to have. And also we acknowledge some of the historical women that have been part of our tradition. And so today is kind of my opportunity to speak a little bit about this. Next week we're going to have a guest speaker, Reverend Elaine Donlin from Buddhist Church of San Francisco will be here. So she'll be here to share her thoughts on this special service. And so today I have a little bit of window to share maybe some additional stories that have to do with the Ladies of the Dharma, and also in response to some of the questions that came up during our class that we had, the BEC class from last week. Okay. So these other ladies are Shindan Shonin's wife, Eshinni, his daughter, Kakushinni, and there are two others, Lady Takeko Kujo. She was a poet and an educator and one of the founders of the first BWA, from Honganji, and it grew and spread. So now all of our temples, pretty much all of our temples have a BWA, used to be known as the Fujinkai, okay? And also Lady Yoshiko Otani, okay? So she's the wife of the 23rd Gomonshu. So this picture here, we were laughing yesterday because we were looking at this, and one of our senior members said, "Oh, who's that little boy up there?" But no, not a little boy, but the 25th, I believe, Gomonshu. And so his grandfather's wife was Lady Yoshiko Otani. And so she was very inspirational in guiding the temples and the BWAs after the war. Very difficult times at that time in Japan and here as well. So these are the key ladies that we acknowledge, okay? So when we had our Dharma school class earlier, I asked them, who do you know? Who are the ladies of the Dharma that you know? Who can you name here at the temple? So they had to wonder for a little bit, but soon they caught on that they do know some people, some of our Sangha members, and even including their mothers, right, who are serving as Dharma school teachers and helping in many ways at the temple. So they know some of the women here at the temple, and as they help and helping the temple go along. Okay. So there are a number of women through history who have been impactful at all of our temples, and so we remember them all. Next week we'll remember in particular people we have lost here at our temple. Okay. So when we were talking about our class, we were trying to explain how earlier forms of Buddhism is very geared towards the monastics, right? Either you were royalty, who you had time to study, or you were entered in a monastery, like Mount Hiei, where Shindan Shonin studied. And so it wasn't really open to everyone, all the lay people, okay? So it was thought at that time that the lay people, they had jobs like hunters and butchers and fishermen, and they would have this evil past karma attached to their lives. So they would have a difficult time to become enlightened beings, okay? They had this burden of negative karma that they had to carry with them. And women too were thought to have negative karma, so they would have a difficult time. But through the Nembutsu teachings of Honen and Shindan Shonin, people of lower levels, farmers, fishermen, merchants, all these people that struggled in a daily life, right? Everyday people like us became the Nembutsu teachings, made the Dharma accessible, made the path to awakening available to everyone. Okay, and so more and more people came to recognize, oh, we have an opportunity too to learn the Dharma, to become Buddhist, and not just these elite people in society. Okay, so through that, Shindan's teachings, Honen's teachings, and Nembutsu recitation grew and flourished because it opened the floodgates to all these people. So just by sheer numbers of people, they became a force to be reckoned with. Okay, so one of the questions in the class is, how did they share these teachings that it flourished this so quickly, right? We didn't have Zoom sessions in the 1200s in Japan, right? So how did that happen? So when we look at the history of Jodo Shinshu, one of the main stories we hear is how the exile of Honen and Shindan Shonin, right? They were exiled to remote areas of Japan. And so there's more of a backstory to that. It was in, let's see, yeah, through the teachings, people had access to Buddhism, but still, what happened? In 1206, something happened. The emperor at that time, Emperor Gotoba, he went away from his imperial palace on a pilgrimage. So he was gone for, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks or a month or something like this. So two of the consorts that lived at the temple, their names were Suzumushi and Matsumushi. Okay, Japanese names that we don't hear too much about. Reminds me of Bimbo no Umi and Bombu no Umi, right? These Japanese names we don't know so much about, but they were consorts that lived at the emperor's palace. Okay, and so while he was gone, Honen's disciples, Jurenbo, Anrakubo, they came to the palace and they were sharing the Nembutsu teachings. Okay, so in that audience were these two consorts, ladies of the imperial palace, Suzumushi, Matsumushi. So they were listening to the Dharma, the Nembutsu teachings, and they became so moved by these teachings, accessible to anyone. And through that, they were able to, they decided to become Buddhist nuns. They would leave their position at the temple. It's not easy to do. They had a leisurely life living at the palace, but they decided to become Buddhist nuns. So they're going to step away from this very comfortable palace life to follow the Nembutsu teachings of Honen Shonin. Okay? And as they listened to the teachings, they were able to, it touched them that the teachings are saying that every life is equally precious, okay? Not only the royalty, not only the monks who are studied and learned, but everyone, everybody sitting here, the very special life. So this is what the Nembutsu teachings are, and this is why so many people came to listen to the Nembutsu, okay? So then the emperor came back to his palace from his pilgrimage, and he learned that these two women, Suzumushi, Matsumushi, they had left the palace to join Honen's Sangha members. Okay, so this made he was enraged, right? How can this be that people would leave his palace and join this religious movement? So because of that, he ordered Honen's disciples, Jurenbo, Anrakubo, who had come to teach, and 2 others to be executed immediately. Okay, so 4 of Honen's disciples were executed because he was so upset that they came in to disrupt the palace, the ways of the palace. Okay, so after that, the same episode, Honen Shonin and 7 of his disciples were exiled, including Honen. So they were sent away into these remote areas of Japan. Okay, so the women paid clear role in this happening. We always hear about the exile, but we don't know the backstory necessarily of how that came to be. Okay, some disciples were executed, and then some were exiled to remote areas of Japan. Their monkhood, their Buddhist names were taken away from them. Okay, and so many people, the people who were exiled, were very saddened to leave, forced to leave, and go into these very remote areas. And Honen encouraged them to accept their exile and consider it an opportunity to spread the teachings in these very remote areas of Japan. So this too was one of the reasons why the teachings flourished, okay? Not through internet or Zoom, but because they were exiled, they were reaching all these farm communities in the area, okay? They were not just clustered in the capital of the time, okay? So this also helped to send the Nembutsu teachings and continuing to grow and to meet more and more people, okay? So the story of exile we're familiar with, you know. I went through something similar. I had a very comfortable existence sharing the Dharma in the Northwest District. Suddenly, I was exiled to Sacramento. Okay, so that's what happened to me, right? But through that, I'm able to meet the kind people in Alameda, and I've been here flourishing for 7 years now. Okay, so you knew that connection, right? So, yeah, kind of tying in next week's service and the class and things, you know, so some of you are in the class and hearing some of these questions. How did the teachings flourish? You know, the Nembutsu teachings, it really opened the door to so many people, all walks of life. So because of that, these two in particular were touched, and through that, executions and exiles. So this is all part of the movement, and how you don't know how people play into the history of Jodo Shinshu teachings, but these two women that we hear very little about, okay, they played a significant role in how our teachings came to flourish. Okay. Gender was no longer an obstacle. Okay, so everyone, young or old, high class, low class, male, female, gay or straight, whatever profession, they were all welcome into this Nembutsu teachings of Shindan Shonin, and at that time Honen Shonin. So all this allowed our temples to grow and grow. Okay. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda.
Thank you, Reverend, for those wonderful words. Awesome history and exciting tales. That's really cool. Let's see. At this time, we're going to ask that you please stand for the Gatha Ondoku-san on page 220 of the Purple Book. Again, Purple Book, page 220. Thank you. Please be seated. All right, wonderful. Well, thank you to those who helped with the altar preparations and with the service, Reverend Dennis and Brian for helping with the YouTube online preparations. The altar flowers with Jackie, Dorothy, and Lenny. Thank you all. Organist, Lenny, of course, thank you. And to those who brought the refreshments, we all appreciate it and we thank you. At this time, we'd like to ask if there are any newcomers or visitors. And if you're here fresh, you can introduce yourself if you feel so inclined. We'd be happy to hear names and to say hi and thank you for coming today. I don't see any hands, so we'll move right along. The announcements are for next Sunday, October 20th. We have the Ladies of Dharma and late ABWA members memorial service. There's a guest speaker, Reverend Elaine Donlin, we have mentioned, and the minister's assistant at the Buddhist Church of San Francisco. Yes, that's Elaine Donlin next week. Today's the last day to RSVP for the Abwa luncheon, so make sure to see Maria Piper for reservations there. Sunday, October 27th is the family service and Ask Reverend Dennis. And then open to any other announcements that I might not have listed.
Second Sunday, we have birthday Sunday today. Huh? Anybody with a birthday in October?
We got some.
Yes, please come up in Oshoko. Put your $100 bills in the offering box.
Then afterwards, please remain standing here so we can sing for you.
One second, let me see if any kids are.
I don't think we had any children with October birthdays.
Dorothy wants to check.
Yeah.
No.
Nope. Okay. We sing. Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Hey.
Anybody want to come on?
This one?
Yep, okay. 1, 2, 3. Take one more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Morgan missed it too. Morgan's
Oh,
my
okay.
quarter got that.
Okay, thank you.
Do you want? Thank you for attending this morning's service. Please come up to offer incense and join us afterwards, just at the hall. Thank you.